Hello, Michael here from Photogear Tested. This time I want to show you a test I made with the new Sigma 12-24mm art lens. I tested the Canon version on a Sony A7R using the Sigma MC11 adapter. Autofocus did not work on the A7R and I was told that there may be some issues with the first generation of A7 series. So keep that in mind. Manual focus is not a big deal on an ultra-wide angle lens like this. Note that this is not a scientific test. So let's first have a look at 12mm at f4. Very good sharpness in the center and some weakness in the corners, but very good for an ultra-wide angle lens like this. Chromatic aberration and distortion are well controlled. I would not hesitate to use the lens wide open for astronomy photography. Stopping down to f8 improves the overall sharpness to a very good level. Very good image quality for a 12mm super wide angle lens. At 14mm, both wide open and stop down to f8 show a similar image quality. Even so at 16mm, but here I noticed a decrease of image quality in the corners. This decrease continues if you go further in the zoom range to 18mm and beyond, even at the center of the image. So between 16 and 24mm you don't get the same image quality as on the lower end of the zoom range, but you still get very usable results in the center. Now let's look how the image quality is in comparison to the Nikon 14-24mm lens. At 14mm they both look the same. Maybe the Nikon is slightly better in the corners. At 60mm the Nikon is much better in the center and the corners, even so at 18mm. At 24mm the Sigma is better in the center, while the Nikon is better in the corners. The Sigma 12-24mm art lens shows a very good image quality on the lower end of the zoom range up to 14mm. Between 16 and 24mm you'll see a decrease in image quality, especially in the corners. Canon users can go for the Canon 11-24mm lens. This will cost you twice as much, but it's a better lens, especially in the longer focal range. Or you go with the Samyang or Rokinon 14mm lens combined with the Canon 16-35mm lens. But then you lose the 12mm focal length if you need it. Nikon users can go for the 14-24mm lens, which costs about the same. You will also lose the 12mm focal length, but you'll get a maximum aperture of 2.8. So I hope you enjoyed this review and would be pleased if you subscribe to my channel. See you next time.